What's going on, everybody? 10 a.m. is just almost here, and I am so excited today to be able to share what we're about to share. We've got Alex Lucic, an absolute branding expert from Black and Yellow Pavement out of Canada, just outside of Toronto. He is an absolutely incredible guy. He's a friend, a brother from another mother. And let me tell you, he's built an absolutely incredible company. You guys are all in for a treat. We did Miguel, what's going on? Dayton, what's happening? Hope you guys are having a great day. Alex is watching, and I'm about to bring him on. So again, everybody, Alex is in my opinion, one of the top branding people that I know. And he's built an absolutely beautiful company. You can follow him on Instagram, on Facebook, Black and Yellow Pavement. An incredible company, incredible guy. And with no further ado, let me go ahead and add Mr. Lucic on here. Alex, what is going on, my brother?
What's going on, Judd, the Asphalt King, man? Great to be here with you today.
Oh, I'm so stoked. Hey, listen, we're just sharing this out. A few people are, I know Dayton Packard from US Specialties is on here as well, and he's sharing this out. And we're going to go ahead and push this to a few groups because I know people need to watch this. It's really, really important that people, there's so many different variables, so many different factors that truly impact the way a business can thrive. And branding is a very important piece of this. And man, I am seeing some branding there. Holy moly, brother. I love this.
There we go, man. It's what we do. It's what we do.
I love it. I love it. All right, just bear with me here. We'll go ahead and share this out. Hey, Alex, why don't you tell people who are on right now? Why don't you tell them a little bit about who you are, how you kind of started out, and what year that was, and where you are now with your present trucks and those kind of things.
Well, it's a funny thing that you asked that because if you told me 5 years ago that I'd be sitting here with you here today on this live talking about branding, I would have told you're absolutely crazy. But, we started just over 5 years ago, and Judd Burden is a big part of that. We saw him on YouTube, picked up one of his units, and started going door to door. So just over 5 years ago, we were absolutely nobody, and here we are today sitting with Judd talking about branding. And if it wasn't for branding, we wouldn't be here today. So,
man, that is so. Just 5 years ago, you started. Tell us about how you what you started with. What was it that you started with? Just a pickup truck and trailer, or what did you start with?
Yeah, basically just a pickup truck and a trailer, and off I went door to door.
How many guys were you?
Just me, man. Just me and a helper, and we would go banging on doors all summer long, man. Weekends. Every single day, My friends were at the beach and I was knocking doors, so it was a good time.
So let me get this straight. Your friends were at the beach having a good time doing that kind of stuff, and you were out knocking doors having a good time, getting your mojo together and starting to grow your business. That 5 years later, I'm seeing a truck in the background right there. That truck is not like a used, $3,000 truck, man.
No, man, it's almost brand new. It's not new, but it's almost brand new.
Man, and how many trucks do you have now?
We have 8 trucks right now.
So hold on one second. In 5 years, you have built a company that has not only 5 trucks, but people that need to drive them, and you've got customers and projects that you work on that aren't just driveways door to door here, right?
0 driveways, actually.
What do you mean?
We don't do driveways. So basically, when we rebranded to Black and Yellow, our goal was to flip it from resident. We were like 95% residential, and within a year of rebranding to Black and Yellow, we were 95% commercial, and we've kind of never looked back.
Wow. Well, with that being said, I'd love to dig into this. And thanks, man, for going to grab those headphones, those Beats, because I know that we were experiencing some feedback stuff earlier. And, one of the things I think that's really important here for everybody to know that I've known this guy, Alex, who is not just any guy. He is a very, very special person that we've shared very, very, intense personal conversations. We've shared a lot of ideas, creativity. We've partnered on a project at Nasty Good. And this guy, Alex, that everybody has the opportunity to see right now live, but also on the recordings that are taking place. I just want to give you, I want to let you know, man, I'm so grateful and appreciative of the relationship that we have, and for you taking the time out of your busy schedule to share this. There is no monetary gain for either you or I doing this. We're not charging for this, whereas a lot of seminars, conferences, and masterminds can charge a lot of dough for this. So what I'd like to do is, if we can just kind of dig into the branding aspects of this, that would be amazing. So I think one of the things that people will want to hear is a little bit about this branding journey. There was something that happened at Black and Yellow, you know, at a time in your growth stage where you implemented some strategic things to help create what you are presenting yourself with right now, the colors and so on and so forth. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your journey and the change to branding, and then why don't we dig into the 5 branding, you know, shares that we want to do here, the 5 branding secrets that we're going to lay out. Some people may not think of them as secrets, but certainly, you know, they're important things to focus on, and we can kind of break them down one at a time. So tell us about your journey and your branding journey and change.
Well, you know, first of all, John, I just want to say thank you for having me on here. The feeling is extremely mutual on everything you just said about me. Thank you so much. And yeah, so basically there's 2 things that, you know, everybody should know with regards to branding if they want to step up their branding game. So those 2 things are, so you have the outside appearance of the brand, which is what the customer initially sees. It's what draws them in, gets their attention, and it's what builds that initial trust with the customers. For us, it's our trucks. So we put our trucks on all of our branding and our logos. So that's the outside appearance of the brand. And then you have the inside workings of the brand, which is your, you know, company culture, how you treat and talk to your clients, you know, how you make them feel, you know, what really differentiates you from your competitors and contractors, and really, are you solving a problem for them? Are you making their life easier? And this is really the part where you get to build that brand loyalty with your customer base. It's kind of like a yin and yang situation. If you want to create a powerhouse brand that's going to dominate, you have to do both of these things really, really well. Otherwise, you're going to be leaving a lot of potential business on the table.
Right. So when I'm hearing about, like, you know, in the case of Black and Yellow, so the trucks were the branding and the culture. I'm hearing 2 things that are pretty darn important, which is the trucks, the consistency of the, like, I can see that Black and Yellow truck. The name of your company is what?
Black and Yellow.
And what color are your trucks?
Black and yellow. I mean, it's one of those things that just fell into place kind of perfectly. It's not something that I just came up with out of thin air. It just kind of happened. But it's just really easy to remember, and it really works.
So what color is Asphalt, Pavement?
Black, and the lines are yellow, so usually.
And what color is your shirt? Black and yellow. So you really,
Black and yellow.
in your website and your social media, so the consistency of the colors of your brand are always black and yellow. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yep.
So do your staff or, you know, teammates, do they at any point in time wear a red hat or a blue hat when they're working on the job? Well,
no, and that's the thing. Everybody's required to wear the exact same thing, and it's the brand consistency. If you don't have that, then really it's really tough to build a brand. So
when I look at you and you know, your company, and I look at your stories, your Instagram stories, and all of the content output, I'm seeing black and yellow as a consistent color theme. That when I see black and yellow, even when I'm out driving and it doesn't have your name on it, I think of you.
And that's the thing. And we're not just targeting, you know, our customers. We're targeting everybody. So it's not just our customers that are, you know, seeing our stuff. When the trucks drive down the road and people see them, they're going to talk about them, you know, whether they like Pavement, whether they know about Pavement, whether they don't. You know what I mean? And who knows, maybe they know somebody that needs something done with their pavement. So it's kind of like spreading like a virus, right? It's not just, you know, a sticker on the side of the truck that says Bob Sealing, and you know, nobody really cares, right?
Right, right. So what about your proposals? When you're delivering proposals, your logo is always consistent as well. All that branding, every depth of your branding is consistent. So consistency, I'm hearing, is a very important piece of this.
Consistency is absolutely number one, and we didn't start off that way right out of the gate, but we realized that very quickly. And you know, in the last about 3 years, we've really zeroed in on what our core branding aspect is, and that's our trucks. So we have our trucks, the same picture on every single social media icon: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. It's on our brochures, it's on our, you know, presentation folders, it's just everywhere. So before we even roll up with our trucks to the client, they've already seen our trucks 10, 15, 20 times. And then you roll up in this, you know, in this thing here, and it just builds instant trust with the clients.
Right. So I have a question, because I saw, you know, you bought one of your trucks and it was painted a certain color. I forget what color it was, but it only took you but a day or two before that thing was immediately in the paint shop getting painted black and yellow.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So are you telling me then, because I think this is really important, a lot of people think as you know, as they're going through their branding change or their transformation, I think a lot of people see it as, well, you know, a paint job's going to cost me this. I'm going to spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it's not spending money, it's investing money into your
investing.
Yeah.
Exactly, investing money, you know, back into your business. And we were asked once by another contractor, you know, how can you afford to paint all these trucks? I mean, it's not cheap to get this thing painted like that and get all the decals and everything. But you know, they asked us, how can you afford to paint all these trucks? You know, it's a lot of money. And you know, I asked them, how can you afford not to? You know what I mean? If you're not going to invest in your business, how do you expect your customers to invest in your business?
That's
you know
a
I mean?
golden nugget right there. I hope everybody
Yeah,
got that
yeah.
one. And I know a lot of people will be re-watching this on replay to get these notes, but also know that we'll go ahead and throw in and answer any questions in the comments and so on, and we'll also give the 5 key branding pieces. So is the first one, did I miss one? Is the first one brand consistency? Is that the first?
So the first one for me, I would say, is attention.
Attention.
So attention these days is the number one asset that you can have.
Tell us about that.
So basically, as far as attention for us, it's, I mean, you can't miss this truck driving down the road, but you want to grab your, you know, customers' attention with regards to, you know, your company colors, your logos, you know, clean trucks, employee uniforms, the website, the brochure, social media and everything. And also, don't be afraid to make bold statements. So, for example, we use the statement, Ontario's #1 seal coat brand. So
I love it.
That's a damn bold statement. I mean, that's a huge statement to make, but you got to be able to back that statement up. And, you know, who's going to tell us that we're not, right?
Right.
So when our clients go on the website, the first thing they see the logo, they see the truck, and they see Ontario's #1 seal coat brand. Immediately, they know who they're dealing with. You know what I mean?
Power packed, man.
That way,
power packed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So attention would be number 1, and then number 2 consistency, Alex?
Number 2 is consistency.
What?
So
yeah,
basically, you know, consistency and brand continuity. So as we were talking earlier, are all your company vehicles, do they look exactly the same, or do you have 10 different colored trucks? You know, and it goes as far into detail as all of our trucks are Ford. So you have, for example, you have companies like American Pavement. All of their pickup trucks are Fords. All of their heavy duty trucks are Peterbilts, and everything is so consistent. You don't have one Ford, one Dodge, one is red, one is Chevy. You know what I mean? It's just that brand consistency.
Question about that. You know, I think this is an important one. So with Ford, obviously, you've got a connection now and established a relationship with Ford, the dealership that you deal with, I'm assuming. But, you know, for used stuff, I guess when you shop, you're not shopping for a GM, or you're shopping for...
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, we're not shopping for GM or Chevy or whatever. We're looking for Fords.
So
And it's just part of our identity, right? It's small things, but it's just small things that make a difference.
and you know what's interesting is that when I think black and yellow, I do think of Ford as well, which is a power brand.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, I've seen also, you know, Kevin Gray from ADC Paving in Louisville,
Kevin
Kentucky.
Gray.
I mean, he
Oh,
doesn't run Fords.
nope.
What?
But I think it's GMC or is it Chevy? I'm not
I
sure.
think it's Chevrolet, but man,
Chevrolet, but they're all Chevrolet. And I mean, he's another guy in the industry that's doing a fantastic job, you know, just putting the brand out there and creating content, you know, creating contact, putting up that knowledge out there. So keep an eye out for Kevin at ADC Paving. You can learn a lot from him with regards to branding as well.
man, a lot of people are popping on here, everybody. Sean, Zachary, Brian Hess. Brian Hess is saying, yeah, I guess, you know, you're pretty close to the Pittsburgh Penguins with the yellow and black there, right? So you must be a fan of Pittsburgh Penguins.
Brian, man, let's do black and yellow in Pittsburgh, man.
Exactly.
We're ready. We're ready if you are.
So I got a branding tug of war. A branding tug of war could be a Chevrolet ADC paving truck and a Ford black and yellow truck. Kevin Gray, that's a call out to you, brother. Challenge. I'll be on
Challenge
site live.
accepted.
All right, cool. So back to it here. We've got one is attention. Make your brand very, very attention grabbing. You want it to be powerful colors. You want to make sure that when you're making bold statements that you can back it up, and that when you show up to deliver a quotation or a proposal, people are they're wowed by the image and the attention that you've attracted, right?
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, man. When I pull up in this truck to do an estimate, every single time they comment on the brand and on the truck, and you know that contract is like 95% swayed in your direction just from that,
Even without speaking to them.
without saying a word.
That is awesome.
It's brilliant, man. It's too easy.
Tell me now, when you're on a job with all your trucks and your guys and everybody's carrying that same consistency, which is number two. So attention's number one, consistency's number two. Keeping that consistent brand. When you're on a job site, how many people drive by that job site that are potential customers and see a badass company that's branded and consistent, grabbing attention?
It's funny you ask that, because people literally chase us down to try and get us to seal their driveways. And I mean, we're just not in that game right now, but it's like they won't leave our guys alone. They're like, no, we want you. What do you mean you guys can't do it? Like, we want you guys to come seal the driveway. And we have somebody that we sub the work out to. But again, we focus on the commercial. But yeah, it's crazy how many calls and how many times people stop by and, you know, ask for our information.
Man, it sounds like branding. Brian just said they absolutely want to choose you before they even hear your pitch.
Exactly.
I mean, for those of you who are business owners out there right now or considering building a business, if this isn't enough to persuade you or convince you into focusing on your branding right now, you're making a big mistake. When you finish watching this Facebook Live, take these golden nuggets and apply them to your business so you can move that needle forward. I'm hearing you can close deals or have a huge impact on your conversion if you just follow these branding secrets.
Massive advantage. And customers will even like tell us other people's pricing. They'll tell us things that they shouldn't be telling us just because they want to work with us. You know what I mean? So it's just crazy.
That's incredible. Everybody a part of this, share this out. If this is, you know, while you're watching it live, share it out. If you're watching this recording, share this out. People need to know this. Number 3, branding secret. Tell me about it.
Number 3. So basically number 3 is your brand easy to remember? You know, with the name, with the way that it looks, you know, you got to make sure that the client can easily recall your company name, and it's clear at the top of their minds. You know what I mean? And this goes back to brand continuity and making sure everything looks exactly the same. The more times they see your trucks and your logos and your brand, the easier they're going to be able to remember it. I mean, we've all been in that situation where, you know, you're trying to recall that company name, you're talking to somebody, and you just can't seem to recall it. You know what I mean? And how are they supposed to do business with you if they can't even remember you, right? I mean, do people ever forget companies like Starbucks or McDonald's or, you know, Coca-Cola or Black and Yellow? I mean, it's pounded into people's brains, right? It's there. It's always on top of their minds, and that's number 3.
So you want a commercial property owner or manager, a pavement asset manager. You want them, based upon their navigation through social media, through different places that they're doing research about maintaining their parking lots, etc. You want them to think, anytime they think asphalt, anytime they think pavement, you want them to think Black and Yellow. Just like McDonald's, when somebody thinks of a burger and fries, they think McDonald's, the Golden Arch.
Exactly.
Wow.
Not just Black and Yellow. You know, there's Hayes Sealcoating. Whatever your brand is, whatever you're trying to build, you want to make sure that in your area, like, that's what comes to customers' minds when they think of your services.
You know, and I think that's really important, is that, you know, as a business owner, you're always trying to step that game up. You're creating a brand that's easy to remember. You're always striving to improve your company and grow it, and, you know, and to create that trust amongst your customer base as well as your internal team at Black and Yellow. And I think that the share that you're doing right now is absolutely incredible, because I know there's a lot of asphalt, you know, pavement guys that are on here right now. And the fact that you're sharing this is something so incredible. It's amazing how our industry is changing, you know, how it goes from
Absolutely, man.
How it was just so competition driven, and people would just rip the rug out and just undermine you and, you know, talk bad about you behind your backs. Whereas now everybody is really, I'm seeing this wave of change, which is helping each other to throttle the industry forward as a whole. And so, again, so appreciative of that. Easy to remember, man. Let me tell you, Black and Yellow is easy to remember. Why? It's clean, it's crisp, it relates to the colors of parking lots. It is on yellow on black is bright. You know, it's not something that's you know, camouflaged into a rusty truck. And that is something really, really great. So everybody, easy to remember. Why don't we hop on to number 4?
So number 4, you got to be able to differentiate yourself from the competition. So basically, anybody can seal parking lots, anybody can make burgers and fries, but what really makes you different from all the other guys out there that are doing those same things? And actually, this is a really, really easy one in our industry, unfortunately, but, you know, it's got a bad rep for, you know, most guys have old, broken, you know, rusty down trucks, terrible websites, you know, bad attitudes. And this really goes back to everything we talked about up until this point: brand continuity, having clean trucks, you know, using the best products and doing great work, and actually doing what you say you're going to do for the clients, because we're lacking that in our industry. And like you said, we're seeing more and more guys try to change that and do better. So
that's amazing. So differentiate yourself from the competition. As you're saying, websites, social media, and those pieces, they aren't just, they're not options, as John's saying here. They are required. It's not an option. If you don't have a website that's professionally designed and driven, content driven, you're missing the boat. If you don't have an Instagram page that's professionally designed and managed from a content perspective with quality content, if you don't have a Facebook page, if you don't have Google reviews for Google My Business, if you don't have professional proposals, if you don't have all of the different things that truly you know, differentiate yourself from the guys that don't do that to the guys that do, if you don't do that, you're missing the boat. I mean, if you're closing deals more or less, creating that confidence just by showing up in your truck, and then you're giving the differentiation factor, which is somebody else might have given a proposal on a Word document that was printed out with complete crap on it, versus you guys that have done something that's, you know, over the top incredible. That's differentiation, right?
For sure. And I just want to add the 3 kind of benefits to actually building a brand. So basically, sorry, just look at my notes here.
You're good. Go ahead, man.
It's my first interview, guys. So just bear with me,
brother. You're crushing it. You're crushing it.
So so if you build a powerful brand, you'll be able to, number one, attract better clients. Number two, get paid top dollar for your services. You know, you see guys out there talking about how everybody goes with the cheapest price, you know, they're cheap and this, that. Well, they're not cheap. You just haven't been able to, you know, show them the value for what you're providing. And number three, you'll be able to retain business and get new business much easier. So if you're wondering if you should, you know, try and grow a brand, there's 3 reasons why, you know, it's an absolute no-brainer.
Man, that was like bonus round right there. I hope everybody got that. If not,
Yeah.
just go ahead and watch this recording. But again, we'll be putting some notes out as well. Alex, would you mind sharing those notes with me so that I can post them?
Yeah, I can definitely share those notes.
You are a superstar, man. Thank you so much.
I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning to make these notes. So.
And I know I know it's probably pretty warm right where you are in that parking lot right now.
Yeah.
But
I got some clouds over me right now. It might start raining soon, but we'll see what happens.
Okay, is there a 5th one that we have here?
There's a 5th one, of course, and it's probably the most important part of this, because without this, everything else is, you know, for no good. So basically, number 5 is customer experience. So without the customer experience, you're really wasting your time with all these other things that we talked about. So like I said, this is the last step for us, and it ties everything together. And it's really the part where you get to build that brand loyalty. So Jeff Bezos said it best himself: your brand is what other people say about you when you're not in the room. So basically, for people in our industry, you know, are you solving your customers' problems? Are you making their life easier? You know, do you get back to them right away? Are you positive and happy to help them, you know, in any situation, you know, whether it's a callback or whatever? Are you there to assist them? Do you get your proposals out quickly and efficiently? Like I said, making their life, our goal is to make their life as easy as possible, because you know that property managers, they deal with all kinds of contractors, and it's one thing that other contractors don't do. And again, do you show up on time, and do you do what you say you're going to do?
Man.
And if you can leave your client feeling blown away by the customer experience, not only will they never use anyone else, but they'll pay top dollar for your services, and they'll tell everyone else what an incredible company you are to deal with. And as I said before, this is the part where you start to build that brand loyalty.
Wow. If that is not fire, I don't know what is, man. That you are an absolute beauty, and I can see you standing there, you know, well, sitting there in front of your brand, and you've got a smile on it. And I just, you know, as your first Facebook Live that you've done, Alex, I know that thousands of people are going to benefit from this, and very, very quickly. So, you know, thank you so much for what you're sharing. So what I'm kind of hearing, and I've just, you know, as I've been going through this with you, I've wrote down a few little notes, but I'm almost seeing a little abbreviation, which is ACEDC. ACEDC, which is attention, consistency, easy to remember, differentiate yourself from the competition, customer experience. Everybody, if you have a notepad right now, ACEDC. Attention, consistency, easy to remember, differentiate yourself from the competition, customer experience. Alex is going to share these notes, and everybody can take advantage. But don't just listen to this Facebook Live, everybody. Don't just listen to it and turn it to mush. Take it, grab it by the horns, and apply it to your business. And when you apply it to your business, reach out to Alex and I through social media and let us know how much this video, this interview, this recording, these shares have impacted your business. Because I know that Alex would love to hear about how it's impacted your business. And for me too.
Absolutely. And guys, let us know if you have any questions, you know, if we can help you in any way. You know, Judd and I, we're always here. So,
man,
for sure.
Man, I appreciate you, and I know everybody appreciates you so much. And brother, listen, I know how many times people reach out to you through IG and through your different platforms, and the volunteer time that you give out, you know, you do your best to share as much. But, you know, it's such a breath of fresh air in an industry that is literally changing right now. Anybody who's in the pavement industry right now on this Facebook Live or watching this, please all work together. It's about unity and collaboration. It's not about ripping rugs out from underneath people. It's about sharing so that we can throttle this industry forward as a whole. Alex,
absolutely, man. Let's work together. Let's get it done.
Listen, have a absolutely beautiful Saturday rest of day there. I look forward to speaking to you with you in a little bit. And everybody, please do share this out. There's so much value in this. Notes will be posted shortly on the Asphalt Kingdom wall. We'll post it on our page on Facebook, and we'll also post it on our Asphalt Kingdom Instagram page as well. Alex, man, love you, brother, and thank you so much for all the share, bro.
Thank you so much for bringing me on here, man. It's a great pleasure.
Thanks, bro. You're such a rock star. I appreciate you, man. See ya. Bye-bye. Bye.